Good afternoon, and welcome to the 100th episode of the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin, Master Certified Life Coach and Mindset Coach.
I'm Sandra Priestley. I'm a business and branding coach, a feng shui practitioner. It's 100
100,
episodes,
yes. Happy Thursday.
and it's a Thursday.
Can
Happy
you
Thursday.
believe 100
I'm
episodes in?
in my wildest dreams, I would have never believed we were here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, really, I am so shocked because of how we got this podcast started. It just seems mind-blowing to me when I look back 100 episodes ago.
Yes.
Like,
So we got to talk about that. But first, what are you drinking?
I am drinking bubbly and Empress gin.
Oh, and you put it in the pretty cup.
I did.
Oh,
It's a special day.
it is a special day. And I'm also with the Empress and the Buble.
Yeah.
But I put mine in my Wonder Woman cup.
Oh, cute.
I don't know why I have a hard time not putting, if it's not Prosecco, it can't go in that glass, but
I don't
I
know.
gotta,
Yeah.
so cheers.
Cheers. Oh, 100 episodes.
I learned about Empress 100
Okay.
episodes ago. I'd never seen it.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I was just watching our 100th or our first episode back to celebrate 100th. And I know that you watched it. I am so excited to hear what your thoughts are on it. So maybe we should just go back just in case someone missed that podcast about how we got here.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, I took my feng shui certification. I was looking online. I've been learning about feng shui for years, like, I mean, decades. And my husband said, "You're teaching people, you're going into their houses, helping them. Why don't you charge them?" And I went, "I can't charge them. I'm not certified." And so he said, "I'll buy you a certification. Just find one online."
Mm-hmm.
And I looked and looked, and of course, there's so many different feng shui disciplines. There's so many different types. I got so much more confused when I started to Google, and I landed on your website, and there was a quote that you had on the front page of that website, and it was by Joseph Campbell, and it said, "When you follow your bliss, there will be doors where there were once walls."
Mm-hmm.
And it's the funniest thing, but that is why I chose your school, and then you certified me.
Yeah.
And what was
Me and
so
Paul.
weird, yeah. And when I was listening back to episode number 1, we were kind of talking about that, like how we met and how we separated, like just went our own separate ways. And you were my instructor.
Yeah.
And how our lives have just been so mirrored
Yeah. Yeah.
in so many ways. I mean, we're roughly the same age. I'm a little bit older. Like, we both went into mindset. We both went into weight loss. Like, just, I don't know. We both love quotes.
Yes.
But to get us to here was so crazy. And when I announced that I was going back into feng shui, you reached out to me on Facebook, I think it was.
Yep.
And I'm so glad that you're getting back into it. And I thought, oh my gosh, the Leigh Kubin messaged me. I'm not kidding, right? Because you were my instructor. You had this, you feng shui Joe Vitale's office. Like, I mean, you were like feng shui god. And I just thought, oh my gosh. And it led to you messaging me. I think you phoned me and said we should do a podcast. And I remember.
Well, I wanted you to do one with my friend Chris, which you did.
Which I did.
Yeah.
Yes.
But That
Yeah, go ahead.
when you said, I want you to do it with me. And I was
Mhm.
like, no, 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 this needs to be about you. But something in me was like, you need to do a podcast with her. And it was almost done in my mind. And I'm like, can we schedule a time to talk? I need to talk to you. And so it was a day or two later. And I
Mhm.
could think of nothing else, Sandra. It, it was the weirdest thing. And you're like, well, maybe I can pop in here and there, but I don't really commit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, this is happening. And if it's not happening with her, it's happening. But I kind of feel like it's happening with her. So I just let you do whatever it is that you needed to do. And I think it was on episode 1. I'm like, so what are we going to do? Are you just kind of a guest? Or, and you were like, no, I want to do this. And I was like, I do it. But I didn't say that.
Yeah. But I did feel like, and I did say to you, I'm not sure I can commit to this. I'm not sure that I like, when is it going to end kind of thing? Like, how long are we going to do this for? Like, I feel like I can't. And I mean, like, we didn't really know each other.
No.
Like, you knew me as my instructor.
Yes.
But it's not like we knew each other. It's not like we were like BFFs and I knew that I wanted to like enter into this marriage with you, right? Or even just enter into podcasting
Yeah.
at all. And I thought, what are we going to talk about? When I asked you to do the podcast with Chris, it was like, oh gosh, okay, wait, I don't know that I'm good enough at feng shui. Like I need you there just in case, and so wild that we are here at 100 episodes. I should have Googled, I don't know how many podcasters get to 100 episodes, but it's not many.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Like it is not many. And here we are.
I know. And
Like,
last week's episode, I was talking about when we get those nudges and we follow our instincts
mhm,
and we find ourselves in a spot we knew we were supposed to be. And sometimes it's not even a huge deal, but it's still super cool to
yeah,
go, I did that. I manifested that. But sometimes it is a big deal. Sometimes you make the decision to do something that you're being instructed to, like that nudge, do this, do this, do this. And it's life changing. And I
yeah,
really feel like this has been life changing. I think my life would be very, very different had I not acted upon that nudge that day.
yeah,
Because what us talking for an hour
yeah.
a week has brought me and shown me I'm, yes, forever grateful.
Oh,
Mhm.
I just, me too. I mean, me too. It's like you're one of the people that I would want to tell everything to. You're what, like, it is such a gift. It was such a gift from God
Mhm. Mhm.
that you heard that message, that you didn't think, she's going to think I'm crazy. I'm not going to
Right.
message her, right? Like that you heard the message, you acted on it, that you didn't let me to say no. Um, and I am just feel so blessed
Mhm.
to be
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And I can't really say it any other way. I mean, we have in the last 100 episodes, 100 weeks, been like through some shit
Yeah.
individually, right? Like
Uh-huh.
not towards each other, but like
Right.
individually we've had, and we've
Life
had
has happened.
life has happened like it happens for everyone.
Mhm.
Life is beautifully messy. And we've had each other's backs. We have, and I'm so grateful for that, because when the shit hits the fan, you need someone who's not going to smother you in it,
Yeah.
or like you need someone, or I believe you need someone who's going to listen without judgment, but push you out of the crappy spot you're in. You
Yeah.
don't need to stay there.
Mm-mm. No.
And it's just been, yeah, such an incredible blessing, I find.
Mhm. Yeah. So
Good episode.
much. I just look at the evolution and where I am. And in going back and watching that first episode,
Mhm.
it we say some of the same things. I was actually very surprised how open I was, even in that first episode,
Mhm.
just throwing stuff out there that I was like, oh, you
I
didn't
know.
waste any time. I think we were more reserved, feeling like it was like, oh, you know,
I when I watched it back, I was shocked at how good we were. Were you?
because I was really thinking, oh, I don't
Right?
see it. I don't want to see it.
I know. I was too. I was thinking, okay, this is not going to be good. We barely knew each other.
Yeah.
Um, and we kind of like in advance of getting onto the podcast recording, for the first little bit, we were kind of scripting ourselves beforehand, not actual script, but like
What are we going to talk about?
we knew what we were going to say. We kind of like pre-gamed it a little bit. We
Yeah.
talked about it. And so by the time we got on, it felt to me at the time that it was more scripted. And after a while, I don't remember how many episodes, maybe 10, 15 episodes, I remember saying, let's just go. Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe it was you. It was one of us. Like,
Yeah.
let's just hit record and see what the fuck happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was so I don't know. I was just so surprised and so happy because it feels to me like we were badass
Mm-hmm.
on episode one as well, much more so than I thought that we would be.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking while I was watching it, why was I so hesitant to do this when we were so naturally fucking good by episode one?
Mm-hmm. We were ready. Now, I will say my camera was terrible. My sound was awful. Um, that was some growing pains, like trying to like going, okay, my camera's all grainy. It was a brand new computer and I couldn't figure out what the hell. So I got a new camera and then we started working with the sound and doing all this stuff to that other computer. And finally I was just like, Paul, enough. I need a MacBook.
Mhm.
And so he went and got me a MacBook.
Nice.
And that everything really kind of straightened out after that. But it was
Yeah.
interesting learning in the beginning. And I mean, we're still
Mhm.
learning, but the comfort level's different.
The comfort level is different. I'm not worried about what we say
Mm-hmm.
at all. I just like sit and just trust that whatever we say
Needs to
is
be said.
needs to be said and someone needs to hear it.
And we need to hear it, probably.
And we need to hear it honestly. When I was listening back, I forgot all about this, but on that episode one, I had posted something online and it was just a random thing that was 7 sentences I wished I'd read sooner.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about how, and I talked through that episode about how I just want to say something that someone would remember forever. Like it just, and throughout our 100 episodes, I feel like we have been able to share quotes that changed our lives. We've been able to say things that just were mind blowing for listeners and for each other.
Yeah.
And when I was listening back to those 7 sentences I'd wished I'd read sooner, I thought, wow, like I
Mm-hmm.
almost need to frame that
Yeah.
because they were at that time so pivotal to me and they are now. Like when I was reading back, I just thought, wow, mind blowing and so cathartic,
Yes.
right?
But have you noticed over the past year, you know yourself differently now? like the work that we've done.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I think being able to talk about it and those nudges that come up that lead us to take this class, do this thing, constantly working on ourselves. I understand myself on a level I didn't then, but that spoke to me very much so in that episode. But going back over it again, it hit me even harder in a good
Yes.
way.
Yes. I I remember I'm looking back here at what sentence it was that was so huge to you. I think it was number 4. Save your explanations for those that are
Mm-hmm.
determined to understand you. Give your silence to those that are determined to misunderstand you.
Uh-huh.
And I really felt like in that moment, that did feel very huge to you.
Oh,
And
it
it,
was. Yeah.
to me, like, this is like you've just grown so much in that realm.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it feels for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
And because I used to care. Oh, got to make this one happy and this one happy. And no matter what it meant for me.
mhm,
Am I 100% over that? Of course not.
yeah,
But I am so much closer. And I'm really, it's the weirdest sensation of being like, yeah, I don't need to make myself unhappy
right,
so that you can feel okay. Like, this is what you get. And if you
right,
don't like it, that's okay. I'm not judging you. You don't,
yeah.
I'm you do you, but this is who I am.
Mhm. And I really have um felt that I can see that in you.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, like, before we started, I remember saying to you, I swear a lot. I am not as professional as you. Like, I looked
Oh,
at
I was just
you.
thinking, thank God.
But I truly, I looked at you as being so professional and so full of grace and poise. And not that you're not, but I thought, well, I'm a little much sometimes. And I do swear and I do. And, we talked about even you saying that you, like, I was so thankful that you do swear, but not a lot, like, not, and we talked about, like, you not feeling necessarily as comfortable about swearing. Whereas I was like
See,
trying
I
to
feel
tell
like I
myself,
drop the F bombs all the time.
I know.
Mhm.
And you, like, I don't think you do, not lots. But at the
But I
same
feel
time,
like I do.
it's like, there's like, I don't know, like, you're just you.
Mhm.
Like, just you, not trying to impress everyone, not trying to, like, you just seem more you, more vibrant. Like, it's just like, yeah,
Comfortable in my skin.
comfortable in your skin.
Mhm.
And I feel like, for me, the change for me, I think, has been, well, I don't know if you notice. Maybe
I
you
notice a
notice
lot.
what changes,
Uh-huh.
but I feel, I would say, more confident,
Mhm.
for sure, and
More
not
focused.
intimidated, more focused and not intimidated.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
And I would say that I was before. Before, I'd be like, oh, gee, do you know who her friend has interviewed on her podcast? Oh my gosh, I don't belong in that group of people. And I mean, just being on this podcast with you, I felt like, oh, okay, this is not where I belong. And I feel like, just doing this podcast and speaking with you every single week, it's like I really have come into my own, where I can see where my gifts are and how
Yeah.
I probably underestimated, and probably still do,
Mhm.
but underestimated my worth.
Mhm.
You know, it's
Yep.
been that has probably been, I would say, the greatest gift I have
Mhm.
in these last 100 episodes.
It for me, it feels like we've had 100 hours of coaching sessions,
True.
because we're talking about life. We're
Yeah.
talking about what's going right, what's going wrong.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'm an asshole. We've established that, and that's okay. But there are beautiful moments. And I feel like we've gotten super specific about what we want. We've both been through home renovations
Yeah.
and seen the crazy shifts that come with that. You're kind of still in the middle of it.
I am in the middle of it.
Mm-hmm.
My house is a disaster, and my life is just handing me opportunities to grow every single day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's a beautiful mess.
Mm-hmm. And the beautiful thing about it, you were talking about the areas of the Bagua.
Mhm.
Is it yesterday or the day before you texted me and I said, "Oh, great,
Yeah.
you got some intention work to do because they're blank slates. What do you
Right.
want?"
Right. And I thought, oh, asshole. But she's right. Like, get your shit together, Priestley, because you were right. Like I was saying, Leigh, okay, I have no stairs, I have no tile, I have no railing in my journey area. I have a whole bunch of, like, all of my kitchen stuff is sitting in my helpful people, like all over the table. My kitchen is destroyed right now because I didn't have any cupboards. And that's relationship, and fame in both upstairs and downstairs is to shit. And my wealth area has stuff in it. Like, I mean, like, there is stuff
Mm-hmm.
where, because everything is kind of torn apart, and every area of our house has been
Under construction.
under
But
construction.
what you can do is write notes about what you
Mhm.
want in those areas and go slap those papers in there and let
Yeah.
that take care of it while all the rest of the stuff comes together.
Yes. And that is absolutely one of probably my favorite feng shui cures. I don't even use the word cures because I'm pretty relaxed.
Right.
I'm not, like, not very rigid and structured with my feng shui, but it is one of my favorite cures. When no one else knows it's there, it is
Yeah.
so powerful to put an intention, to put an affirmation, to
Mm-hmm.
put some little note somewhere that no one knows is there. It just feels like
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
a constant prayer to God,
Yeah.
you know? And
Yeah.
I love it so much. And so, yes, this is definitely what I need to do. But it was a very good reframe. And it's one of the things that I love about us, because if I messaged someone else, this is why I love coaching. But if I
Mm-hmm.
messaged someone else and said, oh my gosh, my life has gone to shit because my house is full of crap everywhere, the majority of people would say, oh no, what are you gonna do? I feel so bad. Like, roll
It
right.
must be terrible. How do you
I
get out of
feel
bed in the
so bad
morning?
for you. Like, or the worst case scenario, like, if I were to post, I don't post this stuff on Facebook, but if I post, like, times are tough or whatever, and then I get a hug emoji, like, I want to remove hug emojis from my Facebook because it just makes me feel weak. And
It's like we
I
need like a badass, like,
an arm, like,
yeah,
strong arm, like, you've got this.
yeah.
It's like the the sign that you gave me
Mm-hmm.
is so good. You did not wake up today to be a weak ass bitch. Okay,
No, we did
that's what
not.
I need, that emoji. no care emoji, like blah. And I love that you would reframe it for me. Like, get out of your head,
Yeah.
stop thinking. And you didn't say that. You just said,
Mm-mm.
oh, blank slate, you know, versus someone sitting with me in it and
Yeah.
feeling sorry for me and feeling like that's going to help me feel better if they empathize with me.
Hmm. And truly their intention is to make you feel better. They don't
Yes.
realize what they're doing is
Right.
making it worse and keeping, because that can be a dopamine hit too.
Mhm. Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah, poor me.
Yeah.
Um, but it
It,
doesn't help in the long run. It keeps
and
you stuck longer.
especially, I think when you're open to as much coaching as we are, I think, you know, when you're used to that kind of
Mm.
coaching and possibly because when we seek out coaches or we're working with coaches, we want the up level.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
not at all willing to have someone justify my excuses.
Mm-mm. Nope.
I'm not. And I pay for coaches to kick me in the ass so that I can up level my life.
Hmm.
I have zero desire to stay stuck where I'm at.
Hmm.
And so the fact that both of us ended up feng shui practitioners turned some type of coaches and
Yeah. Yeah.
totally focused on mindset
Hmm.
is
Just
so,
interesting.
it's so interesting and it's just so fulfilling for a friendship.
And don't you feel like it was going to happen? Like,
Mm-hmm.
like people will say this is a God thing. I mean, I just feel like this, I don't know, orchestrated it,
I
you know,
agree.
and looking back for me professionally over the last 3 years, the nudge that I had to, start working on something new and
Mm-hmm.
getting, my life coach certification and my master life coach certification and my hypnotherapy certification. And, next will be my NLP. And I've find myself in this space now where I'm realizing why it was important. And had I sat on my ass, and I told the doctors this, we had a meeting early this week, and I said, if I had sat on my ass and just coasted through COVID and with all that time that I had, I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing. This would not be a thing.
Yeah.
And that was another moment that was like, you listen to a nudge and look at where you are because of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the nudges, that's where that magic is. In
Yeah.
fact, I believe that so much that Logan and I were talking this weekend, and the movie Saw, I don't know if you know what that is. It's a
Oh,
horror flick.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we watch scary movies together, and
Okay.
we watch that series. That's just sort of our thing.
Oh gosh.
And we take turns taking each other to the movies. Like, it's
Okay.
just when he was in San Antonio, he would say, I'm coming in, taking you to the movies. He'd come up for the night. We'd go have dinner, go to a movie. I mean, it was sweetest thing. And sometimes I'd go to San Antonio. Well, Saw is coming out tonight or tomorrow night. So I said, hey, I'm going to fly up to
Oh
Florida
my gosh.
and we're going to the movies. So I'm flying out tomorrow. We're going to go have a little
Wow.
date night.
Wow.
Uh-huh. But
Cool.
it's overwhelming. You have to go.
Mm,
Didn't really make sense. It's like I've got a lot going on. Don't really need to be just jumping on a plane but it's like, why the hell not?
yeah.
Why the hell not?
Yeah.
So,
Like
yeah. What do you call this? The year of yes?
it's the year of yes. It's the year of yes.
All year long.
All year long. Oh my gosh. You know what? One of the other cool things that I think that has happened in the 100 episodes was when I think it was a friend of yours, maybe a client of yours, was listening to our podcast and said, How long have y'all been friends?
Oh, how long have y'all been best friends?
Best friends.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I can't remember how many episodes we
It
had
was
done.
not in,
Not many, right?
I want to say it was under 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and that to me is just like, first off, what an incredible compliment.
Yeah.
And secondly, it's like, it was such a sign to me that this was meant to be. When you can just meet those people that you just have almost like a soul to soul
Yeah. Yes.
knowing relationship. Like, I can't imagine my life without you in it,
Hmm. Yeah.
kind of
Me too. Yeah.
relationship. And we should all be so lucky to have that.
Hmm.
And you and I have never met.
I know. Never in person,
Like,
but I feel like we have.
I know.
So
I
one day
know.
we will.
One day we will. I will come to Texas. I probably will not want to go to Saw, but I
I will
will
make
come
you gumbo.
visit. I will have gumbo. Oh my God.
Hmm. Hmm.
So fun.
Take you
Hmm.
around the hill country,
Yeah.
all the fun stuff.
Never been.
But I am grateful for you, for us, for this. I'm grateful for the growth. I'm grateful for what I learn every week
Mhm.
and a new perspective I get that
Yeah.
I am able to maybe plant some of that with someone else and for our listeners. But
Yeah.
just when I'm out doing my thing all week and
Mhm.
interacting with people, I have Sandra-isms that will be like just coming out.
I love it.
Yes. So I think we are out of time,
We are. What
but
an amazing 100 episodes.
yes. So cheers again.
Ah, to you too.
We didn't drink too much, just a
No.
few sips. But thank you, Sandra. I love you. I appreciate you.
No.
And thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.